I'm Lisa Bullen, and we're going to do a gentle class today in the Kripalu tradition. And a shout out to Heart Song Yoga Center in East Longmeadow and Oxygen Power Yoga in Palmer. So if you're a beginner, no worries. If you're wanting to stop and watch and rest, do that whenever you feel the need. First thing we're going to do is sit and breathe. We'll move through some warm-ups, some postures, and then we'll take rest at the end. And this class will be about 45 minutes, and that will include your resting time. So let's find a comfortable seat, rooting the sitting bones, pressing up through the top of the head. Roll your shoulders back and down. If you're not comfortable crossing your legs, you can stretch them out. You can take the soles of the feet together. That feels better. Sitting up on a cushion, coming to the front edge of that cushion if you are, and that will help to tilt your pelvis forward and open up the hips a little and the knees. Once you find that comfortable seat and that long spine, start to close the eyes and notice how you're feeling physically today. There's a lot going on right now for everyone, and we're all working towards transitioning into a new normal. So yoga and breathing, deep breathing, can really help us to release some tension and stress that we might be hanging on to, some anxiety around all of that. So using our yoga practice and our deep breathing to help release any tension that we might be feeling, any anxiety. So let the eyes close and the shoulders, roll them back and down, and just start to notice your surroundings. If you're like me, you're sitting in your living room, and if you're used to doing yoga in the yoga center or somewhere other than your home, it can be a challenging transition to find a quiet space where your pets aren't crawling all over you or your kids aren't asking you for things. But do try to find a quiet space so that you can continue to practice your yoga. As you're sitting and breathing, you're just noticing physical body, any places in your body that might feel constricted today, or injuries that you might be working with, without judgment, just noticing those places so that you can be mindful. Noticing mentally and emotionally how you're feeling as well. Again, there's lots going on, and it's important to practice self-care, especially when you're feeling a lot of stress. So taking time for yourself today, that is a very good thing. As you're breathing, you're just softening in the belly, the face, the jaw, the brow. And when your eyes are closed, your other senses come alive, and you're just connecting with your environment in your mind's eye. So just noticing the parts of the body that are touching the floor or touching the cushion. Noticing the temperature of the air against your skin. Any sounds that you might hear within the room. You might hear sounds outside of the room. Just let those sounds fade away into the background. Bring your attention to your breath. We're going to do a cleansing breath together. Big breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth with a sigh. Let's do that one more time. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out with a sigh. And then begin to close the eyes if they're not, and drop inside. And start to breathe only through your nose. This is called Dirga Pranayama, or the three-part breath, sometimes called the complete breath. And your belly is soft, and you're really breathing into your diaphragm. So when you're breathing in this way, you feel some movement in the belly, in the ribs, and in the chest. So connecting with that sensation when you take a big breath in through the nose. Feel it come right up under your collarbones, and then let the breath out slowly through the nose. And there's a little drawing in of the navel towards the spine when you're exhaling the breath. And then let everything be soft as your next inhalation comes in. filling belly, ribs, and chest. And then exhaling completely. And we're going to follow this way of breathing for a few more rounds. So just let your spine continue to lengthen, shoulders softly slide down the back. Connecting with any sensations that arise. And we'll take one more deep breath in, one more deep breath out. And setting an intention for your practice, whatever that might be for you today. It's your practice. Think about what you would like to take away from it. And then slowly opening the eyes when you're ready. Bringing the hands together at the heart center. This we refer to as Namaskar or the Anjali Mudra. And the thumbs press against the sternum and we lift the sternum up, lengthening through the spine, taking another deep breath in and out. And we'll bring the arms by our side. For me, I'd like to come off of my cushion at this point, so I'm going to come off of my cushion and just place it off to the side. Maybe I'll need it later. We're going to sit up nice and long, bring the palms out by our side, and do some sun breaths. Sun was out today, so went for a walk earlier. The sun was nice and warm. Inhale, reach up, look up. And exhale, lower the arms, lower the chin towards the chest. Inhale, reach, look high. Exhale, lower, chin to chest. This is in your own timing. It doesn't have to match me or my breaths. Just coordinating with your own breath. A few more rounds. Reaching long through the fingers as you root through the sitting bones. Exhaling all the breath away. 2 more. Inhale, palms touch, if you can. Exhale all the breath away, fingers to the ground, chin towards the chest. Last one, reach the arms up, leave your arms up overhead and lace your fingers. And we're gonna lift right up out of the waist and start to rock a little bit side to side. So you wanna really root those sitting bones down, keep them grounded, and feel that nice stretch come into the side body. Getting into the muscles between the rib cage, the intercostal muscles. Breathing deep. We're creating space in the body for energy to flow more freely and easily, so breathe into those places once we create that space. Come back to center, separate the hands, bring them out to the side, opening and closing the fingers. Softening the shoulders and still sitting up nice and long and tall. Roll the wrists around in a circle and go the other way. Hands can come behind, laced at your back. Squeeze back your shoulder blades. Lift your heart to the sky, look high, and then maybe a little bow forward and rock side to side. There's no wrong way to do it. Your hands lifting away from the back a bit will give you a nice shoulder opener. Breathing deeply. Keeping the breath a priority throughout. Even if you're not doing all the movements, if your shoulders are sensitive for whatever reason, do what you can do. And then come back to center and release your hands. Take a deep breath in and out. You can sigh it away anytime you feel the need to release that cleansing breath, and that will release tension from your body. Taking just the right shoulder, squeeze it up, back, and down. And then release that to stillness and reverse the direction, back to front, breathing. Beautiful, and then release that, squeezing the left shoulder up, back, and down. Just starting to wake up the joints of the body. This is where we're holding a lot of our tension, a lot of our stress in our shoulders and in our necks. Stopping and reversing direction. Big breathing. And then bringing that to stillness. Bring both shoulders up, back, and down. Just a few times. Squeeze them up, back, and down. And then coming back to stillness. Hands are behind you, so facing the fingers in towards the body. Lift the heart skyward, look up. And stretch the front body. Keep pressing it forward, lifting the chin and breathing deeply. If it feels good, you can let the head hang way back. You don't have to. Do what feels good in your body. And then come back slowly forward, slowly to center, and crawl the hands out in front of you. Reaching forward with the fingers and coming up onto the tips of your fingers. Let the chin tuck in a little bit, looking down. And take some nice deep breaths. Soften the shoulders down the back. You can walk your hands out to the right side and really reach and bow in and lengthen. Good. Lift your gaze, walk your hands over to the left side, reaching and lengthening, tucking the chin. Inhale, look up and walk the hands back into the body. Let's stretch the legs out. Shake them up. Bounce the feet, bounce the legs, and get the blood back in there. Pointing and flexing the feet. Start to roll the ankles around. Few times to the right, few times to the left. And then pedal them out a little. Taking the soles of the feet together. And we're going to take our hands to the shins and sit up nice and tall. So you want a nice big diamond shape between your feet and your sitting bones. And we're going to circle the body. So making some torso circles. This is going to be a nice way to open up the hips and the lower back. Softening the shoulders and breathing. Notice how it feels in your body. Stopping at center and reversing the direction. Keep the breath full and deep to the body throughout. And then coming to stillness when you're ready, we're going to straighten out the left leg and scoop up the right leg. You scoop the leg into your hands, the foot into your hand, the knee into your hand, and sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in and out. Just keep lengthening here, lifting the heart, shoulders back and down. If you're tight, the foot will come a little closer to your knee than to the hip. Good, and when you're ready, you can release that leg out and shake it out and scoop up the left foot and the left knee, sitting up nice and tall. Press out through the right heel, shoulders back, lift the heart, draw in through the belly, and breathe as you root the sitting bones and press up through the crown. And then release that leg and shake it out. Taking the feet off to the side. So let's take the feet off to the side and come into a puppy stretch or a child pose. So puppy stretch, your tailbone is up and your head is down. Puppy, that's puppy, and child pose, you're sitting on your heels. So you're sitting right down on your feet, your head is down. You can use your hands or arms as a pillow for either version. But coming into either puppy or child pose for several breaths to just release the shoulders and the spine before we come up into our table pose. Take 2 more breaths here. And then making your way into a tabletop position. I'm going to do a few cat and dog curls. So our knees are going to be about 6 inches apart or so. Toes are pointed, fingers are spread, and your hands are a little bit forward of the shoulders. Underneath the shoulders, but a little bit forward of that. We're going to arch the back and drop the belly, look up, inhale, And then round the back and tuck the belly and the chin. Exhale all the breath away. In your own timing, start to move the spine forward and back or up and down, and use the breath. Pressing all the breath out as you round the back, and then inhaling, filling up the lungs as you look up and arch the back. We'll just do 2 more. And come back to your neutral spine when you're ready, flat back. And we're going to curl the toes under and lift our hips for a downward facing dog. So you might need to walk your feet forward just a little, but if you're tight, your knees are going to be bent slightly. And you're looking towards the belly or towards the legs. And we'll just walk out the heels one at a time, lifting one heel up and the other heel down. Just to start to wake up the hamstrings. Bringing your heels nice and high and your knees down slowly. We're going to step up the right foot between the hands and slide the left knee back just a little. If you need some cushion under your knee, take some cushion under there, maybe a blanket or a towel. And we're going to lift our hands right up onto the thigh and get up nice and long and tall in the spine. Hands are by the sides. We're going to reach up on an inhale for a knee down warrior 1 pose. Your chin and heart are lifted. You're reaching through the fingertips as you root down into the front foot. And you can sink your hips a little bit, but lifting out of the waist at the same time. Breathing deeply. Release your hands. Step your foot back. Downward facing dog. Take your feet to parallel hip distance and look towards the belly or towards the knees. And root both heels down towards the ground as you draw the belly in and up. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here. And then pick the heels up nice and high and slowly lower the knees and step the left foot forward. Slide your right knee back just a bit. Point the toes. Push down into your thigh with both hands to get nice and long and tall. Shoulders back. Let the arms rest by your side. Find your place of balance. Draw in through the belly for stability. And reach up on an inhale. If you want to steeple your fingers, you can do that, squeezing your arms up by your ears. The wider your arms, the gentler it feels on your shoulders. So find what works the best for you when you're doing these poses with the arms overhead. You might even do more of a gold post position or a very wide V. So do what works. Lift the heart, lift the gaze, breathe. And exhale. Your hands come down, your foot comes back. We're going to come downward facing dog once again, looking towards the legs or towards the belly, rooting the heels towards the floor and breathing. Step the right foot between the hands and turn the back heel down so that it's flat. Push down into your feet, bending the front knee and coming to that same posture, warrior 1, with the back knee up off the ground. Lift your heart as you sink down and square your hips to the front of your mat. Breathe deeply. Full deep breaths. Soften the shoulders down the back. Draw the belly button in and out. And activate your core strength here. On an exhale, excuse me, the hands come down. You're stepping back to downward facing dog. If that is too much, you can always go back to puppy stretch. Whenever we return to the down dog, you can have the knees down and the forehead on the ground. So do whatever version works in your body and breathe. Looking forward, stepping the left foot up between your hands. You might have to help it up there by grabbing the back of your ankle. Turn the back heel down so it's angled in just a little. And pushing down into the feet as you bend into that front knee, reach the arms open up and up overhead. Soften the shoulders down the back. Draw the belly in and up. And breathe. Find that position for your shoulders that works the best for you. One more deep breath in. And exhale, hands come down. We're going to step the back foot forward to meet the front foot. So your feet are about 6 inches or so apart, maybe 8 inches apart, but parallel. And we're going to hang the upper body over the lower body. This is called the ragdoll pose. And if it's a lot, you can lean on your thighs with your forearms and keep your head above your heart, especially if you have anything with the retina or high blood pressure that's untreated or pregnancy, anything that would restrict you from hanging your head below your heart. Otherwise, you can hang all the way down. You can grab your elbows and just kind of sway your body a little bit side to side. Full deep breaths in and out. Start to walk your hands up the body and come to standing. And when you get to standing, just shake everything out. Give everything a good shake. Arms, legs, feet, hands, and ankles. Good. And bring your feet about hip distance apart. So you could be standing at the top of your mat. I'm standing facing this way. Hands are on the hips. And we're going to start to just circle the hips and the ankles and the knees. Stopping and reversing. Good, and breathing, and then coming back to stillness. Stepping your feet together in parallel. Hands by your side just to get nice and long in your spine, and then we'll bring our hands together in the Namaskar position or Anjali Mudra. Thumbs pressed to the sternum, drawing the belly inward and upward as you root the feet down. Roll the shoulders back and down. Press up through the top of the head. And we'll return to the mountain pose, which we did when we were sitting down. Steepling the fingers, we're going to reach those arms right up by the ears. If this is a lot in your shoulders, of course you can separate the hands as wide as you like. Keep rooting down as you reach up and breathe. And we're going to arch the body side to side. So lift out of the waist, draw the belly in for support, and start to arc the body to the right and left as you're coordinating it with your breath. So inhale through center and exhale to each side. Notice how it feels in your body. Everything that we're doing, check in. Keep checking in. And then coming back to center. 5-pointed star. Step your feet wider apart, turning the toes out, turning the palms out, lifting the heart and lifting the gaze. Take a deep breath in and out. And then let the arms come down and the feet come back together. And we're going to step into a warrior two. So if you're at the top of your mat, you're going to step to the right, opening the feet wide and turning the right toes 90-degree angle and the left toes are angling in. Let's bring our hands to the hips first and square your hips to the side of your mat. So you're not squaring them to the short side, but to the long side. And we're going to bend and straighten that right knee a few times. When you bend it, see that it's lining up with your ankle and keeping it in bent position. Arms reach out to T position. Look over the right middle finger and breathe. Nice. Relax your shoulders. Draw in through the belly. Straight, strong back leg. Root both feet equally down. Feel that stability of the earth beneath your feet. And when you're ready, you can lean on the thigh with your forearm and stretch that left arm straight up to the sky. If it feels comfortable for you, you could angle it over your ear and turn your chin in towards your arm. Another option might be to wrap it at your lower back, palm open, and look up over that shoulder. So do whatever works and feels good in your body. Reach the arm again up if it's wrapped. Inhale, push down into the feet, come back to 5-pointed star, and then turn your feet to the opposite direction. Hands come to the hips. We're gonna bend and straighten on the second side. See that the knee is lining up with your ankle for stability, and then keeping the knee bent position, arms open wide. T position, look over the fingertips, above the bent knee, and breathe. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. When you're ready, bend your elbow, leaning on your thighs. Stretch that opposite arm skyward. Look up at your hand. You can angle that arm over the ear, tucking your nose towards your bicep. Or you can wrap it at your lower back and turn the palm open and roll the shoulder back and look up over that shoulder. Keep breathing, and the bent knee squeezing just a little towards that baby toe side of your foot to keep that knee nicely aligned. 2 more breaths. Inhale, the arm reaches back up if it's wrapped. Push down into the feet to come up, straighten the legs, 5-pointed star. Bring the arms back down by your side. Take a deep breath in. Beautiful. We're going to turn our right toes out, our left toes in. Triangle pose. We're going to shorten the stance just maybe an inch or so, maybe an inch or 2. And sweep the arms open. Palms are going to be open. 2 straight, strong legs. We're going to lean out and then down. The arms are like hands of a clock. The back of the hand comes up against your inner leg. The other arm reaching skyward. So both hands are equally pressing out. One towards the ground, one towards the sky. Looking up if you can, or find a different place for your eyes to rest. And continue to breathe. Engage the muscles of the quadriceps, the fronts of your thighs. One more breath in, one more breath out, and push down into your feet to rise up on the inhale. Turn your feet on the exhale, and find your balance. Engage your legs straight and strong. Lean out, and then arms are like hands of a clock. One comes down, the other up. Looking up if you can, or look straight ahead if that feels better, and breathing. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale, rise up. 5-pointed star. Step the feet together and the hands together at the heart. Take a deep breath in and out. Beautiful. We're going to end with a balancing posture before we come back down to the ground. So the hands are both at your hips. Feet are going to separate hip distance, and we're going to lift that right knee up. Toes are up, shoulders back, belly in and up. Find a focal point to gaze at. Something not moving, an object that's not moving to help you stay stable. And breathe. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Bring your arms open on the next inhale. And if you can, without touching the ground, start to bring that leg back behind you and lean forward, airplane pose. Press out through the toes of that back foot. Keep your eyes on that object. That's called the drishti, where your eyes fixate. Helps with balance. And then bring your leg back in and to the ground, foot to the ground, hands to the heart. Take a deep breath in and out. Nice. For the second side, hands to the hips. Pick up the left knee, toes are up, shoulders back and down. belly in and out. Find the drishti, find the breath. Standing leg is very strong. Engage the muscles of the thigh, the front of the thigh. And when you're ready, if you're ready, bring your arms open wide to the side and start to kick that leg back behind you. Airplane pose. Find that drishti. Maybe you're picking a new drishti now that you're kicked back. Don't lose your breath. Don't hold the breath. And then bring the foot down and the hands back to the heart. Take a deep breath in and out. Good. We're going to separate the feet and ragdoll back down. Before we come to the ground, we're going to just hang here for a couple of breaths. So let the neck be real long, the spine relaxed. Take some nice deep breaths in and out. You can grab elbows or not. It's up to you. You can sway a little bit side to side. Soften the knees if they're tight. And then release your hands down on the ground. And we're going to come down and we're going to sit for a spinal twist before we lie down. So I'm going to face you, but you can face the top of your mat. I'm going to sit crossed legs. If it doesn't work to cross your legs, you can take the soles of the feet together. And we're going to sit up nice and long and tall. Right hand is going to come to the left knee, the left arm wrapping. Get a nice, long, tall spine. Draw the belly in. And as you exhale, start to roll the shoulders back as you look over that left shoulder. And breathe. Keep lengthening. As you're inhaling, you're lengthening. As you're exhaling, you're twisting. It's a little harder to get that breath in deep when you're twisting. Stay focused on body sensations that arise. Inhale back to center. Exhale there. Take another deep breath in and out. Left hand to right side. Right arm wrapping. Lift the heart as you inhale. Lift the crown of the head and then turn from the hips, the ribs, shoulders roll back and down. Chin is level to the ground. Your eyes are looking over that left shoulder, breathing deeply. Keep breathing. Full deep breaths. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release. And we're going to bring the knees up, separate the feet, or bring the feet together but flat on the ground, and give yourself a nice, great big hug. Rock it out side to side. When you're ready, you're going to lie down on your back. So very gently, very carefully, lower your body down. And bring your arms open to T position. Feet are flat on the floor. We're going to rock our knees to one side and our gaze to the other side. And just go side to side at your own pace, in your own breath, to release any tension from your back or your hips. Coming back to center, cross your right ankle in front of your left knee. And we're gently going to place our hands to our thighs, one hand on each thigh, pressing the right thigh away just slightly to get that nice opening in your hip. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you want to deepen the stretch a little, you can pick up the foot that's on the floor. Reach your right arm through that window and either clasp behind your left thigh or over the top of your left shin. Keep pressing the right knee away slightly. And breathe. Release your leg slowly to the ground, foot to the ground, uncross. And bring your left ankle in front of your right knee. One hand on each thigh. Gently start to press that left thigh and knee away. Press it away. Breathe. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can pick up the foot that's on the floor, thread your left arm through that window, lace your fingers behind your right thigh or over the right shin, and continue to press that left knee away slightly. This is a nice hip opener, but it might be too much if you're grabbing your shin. So just do what feels good in your body and breathe into the stretch. Release the foot to the ground. Uncross. Knees can come to the chest. If that feels good, rock it out side to side. You can always rock your knees, again, like we did earlier, with the arms out to the side and feet flat, if it doesn't feel good. And we're going to spinal twist, so we're going to drop our knees to the right and our gaze to the left. You can gently place your hand on top of your knee, or you can keep your arm out in T position, palms face down, and looking over your fingertips, breathing deeply. Relax your shoulders back towards the ground. Relax your feet and your legs, your jaw and your brow. Smooth out the breath and deepen it. When you're ready, inhale your knees back through center. You can give another squeeze if you like in the middle. And we'll go back into the spinal twist on the second side. Left hand can be on top of the upper knee. Right arm out to T, or both arms out to T, palms down. Looking over your opposite fingers. Breathe full deep breaths here. Inhale, come back up to center, giving the knees a squeeze. And you can take rest from here. Shavasana, you might just be ready to stretch out those legs, take them about the width of the mat apart, palms by your side facing up. If you need to grab a blanket or cushion or pillow or sweatshirt or anything at all that you might need to make you more comfortable in relaxation pose, do that here. And we'll take a few minutes in relaxation to just allow the body to sink down and settle in and absorb all of the benefits of your practice. So making sure that you're comfortable in this posture. It is a posture. Your eyes are closed. You're totally relaxed. If you'd rather sit up for this pose, you can. That's definitely an option. Allow the body to sink down and settle in. The breath is going to come back to your natural rhythm, whatever that is for you. Eyes are softly closed. There's nothing else that you need to do right now. Nowhere that you need to be. Taking in these words from a book called Journey to the Heart. And this is called Trust That Guidance Will Come. Trust and act on the guidance you have now. Some parts of our lives appear like a long paved highway. We can see exactly where to go. We have a panoramic view. Other times it may feel like we're driving in the dark with only one headlight on a winding road through the fog. We can only see a few feet in front of the car. Don't worry if you can't see that far ahead, if you only have a glimmer of light to guide your path. Slow down, listen to your heart. Guidance will come. Trust what you hear. Do the small thing. Take that one step. Go as far as you can see. Then go back to your heart and you'll hear the next step. It may be a step of immediate action or deliberate inaction. Sometimes you may have to quiet down, wait, and prepare yourself to hear what you're to do next. Trust and act on the guidance you have now, and more will come. Slowly begin to deepen the breath, wiggling fingers or toes, rotating wrists and ankles. Begin to make your way back to seated pose by rolling over onto your right side. So hugging the knees into the chest, rolling to your right side, taking a few breaths there if that feels good. And then as you feel ready, you can come back to sitting tall on your mat, letting your eyes remain closed if that's comfortable, hands coming together in the Anjali Mudra, thumbs pressing to the heart, honoring and appreciating yourself for taking this time today. Shanti is peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace in our hearts, peace in our homes, and peace in our world. Namaste. I honor the light in you. Thank you for allowing me to guide you today.